Hi everyone, I'm Tina with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and I will be starting this live in just under 4 minutes. So we'll be starting promptly at 5 o'clock. I just wanted to give people a chance to log in and watch. I'm going to finish setting up my space. So feel free to say hi. I'll keep an eye out for comments and we'll do this. Get my stamp chamois all handy. Hello, I'm Tina with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and we will be starting the live tutorial technique in just 3 more minutes or so. I look forward to starting, just giving people a chance to come in and join us. Hello everyone, I'm Tina with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and we will be starting the live technique in just under 2 minutes, promptly at 5 o'clock. Giving everybody a few minutes to get in and join us. Feel free to say hi, and I'll happily chat with everybody until 5 o'clock, at which point I will be starting the technique of today. All right, my clock says it is 5 o'clock now, and we will go ahead and start today's technique. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you here today. I am going to be covering what's called stamped kissing. And it's really fun, really easy, and actually pretty self-explanatory. Again, I'm Tina with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and I am an independent consultant with Close to My Heart. I decided I have this beautiful, big, bulky stamp from our Colorful Textures Stories by Stacy set. And it's this big, solid, colored stamp. It's great for textures. It's great for illustrating, but it gets bulky. And it's perfect for this technique. Stamp kissing is literally where you take 2 stamps and you kiss them. So what you do, I'm going to turn my camera so you can actually see my workspace. There we go. I'm going to get this really juicy. I'm going to use our Lagoon ink for this. Any color will work. I do find that darker inks seem to do a little better. And actually, I tend to actually like seeing where I'm going more so than the other way. I know lots of people keep showing me do it the other way, and it's not my way. So as you can see, it's fairly wet and juicy. I'm going to take from the same stamp set. I used 3 of the heart stamps, and I am going to just take it and kiss the ink off. And this is the bare bones basic stamp kissing technique. At which point, when you apply it to your cardstock, didn't actually apply great pressure on my stamp to stamp kissing, but you should still be able to see the technique. Oops, not perfect. I totally missed getting some of it, as you can see. But right here is where the heart stamp picked up the lagoon. Practicing on the pressure is helpful. As you can see, I'm going to clean my stamp, even though I'm going to use the same colors, and do it again on the other side and hope for a better application, just so you can get a much better example. So the second way I'm going to end up doing this technique is I will use a color to color kiss versus doing the just ink removal. So again, just take it and kiss it, apply even pressure, which I did not do last time, and lift it off, turn it, and stamp it. Because this is such a big stamp, you know, this is on our great big 4x5 block. It takes some pressure to get it to stamp nicely, but as you can see, this took really well this time. I took the time and made sure the pressure was even. So that is how you do a basic stamp kissing technique. Really fun, really, really effective. So, and again, I don't have to clean my stamp after each use, but I'm choosing to because it's a habit. And it's probably a good habit to have, since I used to have the habit of not doing it and letting my ink dry and get gross and not taking care of my stamps. So this time I'm going to get my big solid stamp, all juicy with the lagoon again. And then I'm going to kiss it with candy apple. So I'm going to do a nice red heart kiss. So I'm going to just apply it, get it nice and juicy, kiss my stamp to the stamp, and then take it to my cardstock. And this gives you a very different look and result than stamping the main stamp and then stamping over it with your other stamp in the color that you choose. So again, the more pressure you apply, the fewer the bubbles that you create. But because I'm going to take this later in the week and make a background, having these extra textures make me pretty happy. And then finally, the third stamp kissing technique that I'm showing tonight is where you get kind of a watercolor effect. So again, I'm going to use the lagoon, get this nice and juicy. Oh, as you can see, it looks pretty good. Got some air pockets in there, but I'm really good with that tonight. And then I'm going to take that same candy apple red, and stamp my hearts, really getting it juicy this time. And then to get the watercolor effect, I'm going to spritz just real lightly with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to kiss the two stamps together with my watercolored stamped image, to then flip it and stamp all of that onto my cardstock. Now you can take smaller stamps and fill up the entire background. You can do patterns, you can change up your shapes. Really, the options are pretty limitless. So as you can tell, this really gives a fun watercolor feel for a background. Applying solid pressure really helps. I know that the stamping platforms like the Misty and the Tim Holtz options are favorites for this because they're such big stamps. But you can do this even with a smaller stamp. It's harder to do if you have a stamp that is sort of larger but textured. So I thought about using this big flower out of our Stamp of the Month set. But with the little variegation lines in it, I can do it. And it would probably, in fact, you know what, we're going to try it. I think it would be fine for some things, but I wouldn't do it for just a stamp to stamp kiss. I'd do it for the watercolor technique kissing. So I'm going to, just because I have it right to hand, I'm going to go ahead and use the back of this block that I have the hearts on. And I'm going to stamp it in Candy Apple instead of Lagoon. And then I'm going to, let's see, what do I have handy? I'm going to use some Fern ink, and this is going to be challenging since I didn't bring any of my other blocks out right now. And I'm going to ink that in Fern. Then I'm going to spritz it with a little water, kiss my stamp to stamp right there. And again over here. And then we'll see how it turns out. So yeah, it works much better if you have a solid base. See how the variegation, it gives some texture, it gives some interesting effects, but it's really hard to see the image that I tried to kiss on from the other stamp. So keeping it more solid versus something that's patterned with the lines is definitely the way to go. So again, here's a quick look of the watercolor, the ink to ink, and the dry stamp kissing. So let's see, there you go. So that's tonight's technique. And tomorrow I'm going to take the evening and just craft on my own, probably, or some journaling. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. But Thursday, I will be back here in the group to do a thoughtful Thursday where I'll cover tips, questions, answers, maybe play a game, I don't know. And then Friday, I will be on the main page doing Funtastic Friday. Have a great night. Thank you for joining me. And if you'd like to see a technique in one of my upcoming Technique Tuesdays, please let me know, because I am always looking for suggestions or to rearrange my current lay out a plan. And I will talk to you later. Bye.